He here.
Oh, he can send it to me.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, so we're running a pre-trip inspection. This is the pre-trip inspection that you're gonna run at the DPS if you're in Dallas, Texas. All right, so you come out, you're gonna have your paper. It's gonna say lenses. What you're telling me is, these are my lenses. These are my clearance lights. My clearance lights are amber in color and they're used for four-way flashes. Then you're gonna say, these are my goddamn headlights. My headlights are not bent, broken, or cracked, properly mounted and secure, and they're clear in color, and my headlights are used for high beams and low beams. Then you're gonna say, these are my turn signals. My turn signals are amber in color, not bent, cracking, or broken, properly mounted and secure, and my turn signals are used for four-way flashing and turn signaling. All right. Then you want to tell them there are no leaks or no puddles under my vehicle, indicating a suspension problem. Then you want to come over here. Get these boys up out of there. Oh yeah, I'm sorry too. Then you want to put them over to the side. You want to be like, this is my reflective lens and my clearance lights. They're both amber in color. My reflectors are used for four-way flashing and turn signaling. You want to say that. Don't forget to say that part. Boom, okay. Let's let this motherfucker up. All right. You want to say this is my cooling reservoir. It's not being cracking or broke. Properly mounted and secure. The cap is on tight, not being broken or cracked. Properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts are present. Then you want to say this is my cooling reservoir hose. Not no abrasion, bulges, or cuts. It's undamaged and it's properly mounted by clamps. Then you want to say this is my oil fill tube, not being broken or cracked. Properly mounted and secure. The cap is on tight, properly mounted and secure, undamaged. Then you say this is my dipstick. You want to pull my to check it. I pull my dipstick out, put it back in. I pull my dipstick out, wipe it, put it back in, pull it back out, and make sure it's full to manufacturer spec. Then you want to say this is my power steering reservoir. Not bent, cracking, or broke. Properly mounted and secure. The caps are on tight, properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts are present. Then you want to talk about your power steering to your gearbox. You want to say this is my power steering hose to my gearbox. It's properly mounted, secure, not bent, cracked, or broken. No abrasion, bulges, or cuts. Properly mounted, secure, and is properly mounted and secured by clamps. Okay. Then you want to talk about your steering shaft. This is my steering shaft. Properly mounted and secure. And it has no more than 10 degrees play. Then you want to say these are my U joints. Properly mounted, secure. All nuts and bolts are present. Not being and it's undamaged, and it's properly lubricated. Then you want to say, this is my gearbox. It's properly mounted, secure to my frame. All nuts and bolts are present, and there are no leaks. Then you want to talk about your three-piece steering linkage. Okay, this is my three-piece steering linkage. This is my pivot arm. This is my drag link. This is my lower and upper control handles, and my tie rod. Not bent, cracking, or broken. Properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts are present, and it's properly mounted and secured by castle nuts and cotter pins. Okay. Then you want to say this is my brake hose and my ABS line. No abrasion, bulges, or cut. Properly mounted and secured, undamaged, and there are no leaks. Oh, and for your gearbox, you want to say no leaks. Then you want to say these are my shock absorbers, not bent, cracking, or broke, properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts are present, and there are undamaged, and there are no leaks. Then you want to Then you want to talk about your brake drums and your brake shoes. You want to say these are my brake drums, properly mounted and secured, not bent, cracked, or broken, and they're undamaged. Then you want to talk about your brake shoes. You want to say these are my brake shoes, properly mounted and secure, not been broke or cracked. All nuts and bolts are present, and there are no more than a 1/4 inch of padding in my brake shoes. Okay. Then you want to talk about. Okay. Then you also want to talk about these too. These are my airlines, probably man secure, not being cracked or broken. No abrasion, bulges, and cuts, and they're working properly. Okay, when you talk about your mounts, you want to talk about these. You want to say these are my spring mounts. This is my front hanger. This is my back hanger. They're properly mounted secure, not being broke or cracked, and they're undamaged. This is my spring mount, properly mounted and secure, not being cracked or broke. All nuts and bolts are present, and there's no shifting or scissoring. You want to say these are my U-bolts. Again, these are U-joints. These are U-bolts. My front and my back, they're properly mounted and secure, not being cracked or broken, and they're undamaged. Okay. Then we talk about your tire. You want to say this is my inner tire. My inner tire has no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and my rim is properly seated to my tire. Then you want to say this is my upper tire. There's no recap. It's evenly worn, and there's no less than 4/32 of tread. And to check that, I use a tread gauge. Then you want to say this is my outer tire. My outer tire has no abrasion, bulges, or cuts. It's properly mounted and secure, and it has 100 psi. And to check it, I put my tire gauge to the valve stem and make sure it's filled to main face spec. Okay, you want to talk about your rim. This is my rim. It's not bent, cracking, or broken, properly mounted and secured. And my rim is properly seated to my tire. Then you want to say, these are my lug nuts. You want to touch them all. Let me get that for you. You got my face on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are my lug nuts. They're properly mounted and secured, not bent, cracked, or broken. There are no illegal welds and no rust or metal shavings indicating a loose lug nut. Okay. Then
Brake contaminants.
Yeah. Then you want to talk about your brakes. I mean, not brakes. Oh, yeah. Don't forget, when you talk about your brakes, when you talk about your brake shoes and your brake drum, you want to say, my brake shoes and my brake drum are free of oil, grease, and debris, and there are no contaminants. All right. This is my battery. My battery cords, my battery lines have no abrasion, bulges, and cuts, properly mounted and secured, and my battery has no excessive corrosion. You want to talk about your depth tank. This is my depth tank. It's properly mounted and secured, not being cracked or broken, and it's undamaged. The cap is on tight, properly mounted and secured, and it's undamaged, and there are no leaks. And there are no leaks under my vehicle from my depth tank. Then you want to talk about your fuel tank. This is my fuel tank, not being cracked or broken, properly mounted and secured. The cap is on tight, not being broken or cracked, properly mounted and secured. And there are no leaks under my vehicle from my fuel. Then, you talk about these. You want to grab these two. You want to say, these are my airlines, properly mounted and secured, no illegal tape. No abrasion, bulges, or cuts, no illegal tape, and my airlines aren't dragging against my trailer frame. These are my airline connectors, my glad hands, they're properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts are present, and they're undamaged. And inside of my glad hands is rubber, properly mounted and secure, no abrasion, bulges, or frays, and it's working properly. Then you want to say these are my glad hands to my trailer, and these are my connectors to my truck, not being cracked or broken, properly mounted and secure, and they're undamaged. Then you want to talk about these. These are my electrical lines, no abrasion, bulges, or frays, properly mounted and secure, no illegal tape. To check my connector, I pull it out, make sure it has no debris, and it's properly mounted and secure, and all nuts and bolts are present. This is my 7-pin connected to my trailer. This is my 7-pin connected to my trailer. To my truck. You want to talk about your truck frame. This is my frame, not being cracked or broken, properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts are present. Then you want to say, this is my trailer frame, not being cracked or broken, properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts are present. Then you want to say, these are my cross members, not being cracked or broken, properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts are present. And my floorboard It's problematic and secure and there are no holes. Alright? Then you want to say, fifth wheel skid plate and apron. This is my fifth wheel skid plate, not being cracked or broken, problematic and secure, and it's properly lubricated. This is my apron, not being cracked or broken, problematic and secure, and there is no gap in between my fifth wheel skid plate and my apron. Then you want to say, this is my fifth wheel release handle, problematic and secure, not being cracked or broken, all nuts and bolts are present, and it is in a locking position. How do I know it's in a locking position? Because it is in. Okay. Then you want to say, this is my kingpin, not being cracked or broken, problematic and secured, and it is undamaged. Then you want to come on the inside. Then you want to say, this is my locking jaw, not being cracked or broken, problematic and secured, and it's wrapped around my kingpin in a locking position. Then you want to say, this is my fifth wheel slide pins, not being cracked or broken, problematic and secured, and it is in a locking position. Then you want to say, this is my landing gear, not being cracked or broken, problematic and secure, all nuts and bolts are present. These are my landing gear shoes, not being cracked or broken, problematic and secure, and all nuts and bolts are present. You want to say, this is my crank handle, problematic and secure, not being cracked or broken, and my crank handle is in a stall position. All right. Then you want to say there is proper clearance between my. Oh, and you want to say that it's fully raised. Don't forget to say that it's fully raised. And then you want to say it has proper clearance between my truck and my mud flaps, indicating indicating a clear, safe turn. All right. Then you want to say this is my reflective tape, problematic and secure, not been cracked or broken, present, and it's 50% of my trailer. Then you want to come right here. It's the end of it. You want to say these are my lenses, not being cracked or broken, problematic and secure, all nuts and bolts are present, and they are red in color. Then you want to say this is my DOT reflective tape, not being cracked or broken, problematic and secure, the proper color, and it is undamaged. Then you want to say this is my reflective tape, problematic and secure, not being cracked or broken, and it is undamaged. That's it.
They don't say nothing about the back thread tire?
Nah, they don't. Nah, hell no.
But the sand pads.
Yeah, the sand pads, you want to talk about that. But if you want to, I mean, you can do it.
Nah, cause I thought you said the sand pads at one
sand
time.
pads right here. You want to talk about these.
Yeah.
These sand pads. You gotta say them, bro. Everything.